Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to talk about MarketBoost and how you can close more business with it. We're really excited. We have a great collection of content to share with you here today. My name's Hank Hansen. I'm with the marketing team here, and I have Justin Kerr with me today. Very happy to have him as a guest, and he has helped countless clients get up and running successfully with their accounts with MarketBoost and has lots of great insights for you. So we'll jump right into the agenda here so you can see what we're going to be talking about. What we're going to talk about today, obviously, is an overview of MarketBoost, everything it does for you to help you close more business. And we're going to look at some client examples. And we're also going to talk about how MarketBoost integrates with marketing automation, providing a really amazing follow-up tool for you that's much more than automated, hey, how are you? We'll show you exactly what it's going to do. And we're going to talk about how to get MarketBoost, some resources, and finally the Q&A session. So why MarketBoost? So as a lot of you probably are familiar with your accounts, there are email alerts that are available. People can create them themselves from a search on your site. You can create email alerts for a lead. That's a one-by-one process. You have to do that individually for every lead. And those are fantastic tools. But we took a look at what's happening online and how agents need to present themselves and be more competitive online, and figure out what kind of content we could provide to agents from the IDX data that would help you position yourselves as local experts. And there's a lot of data that's in IDX that's not just listings that are seen in the listings alerts. We have all other kinds of data we can expose and pull together in reports and provide in an automated fashion for your website and emails. So that's essentially what we do with MarketBoost. So it's we really need content that engages buyers and sellers with market information that moves them closer to closing. Especially earlier on in the funnel, people are looking around. They want to understand what's happening in a given market. Listing alerts are good for that to some degree, but they don't provide the whole picture. And you need content that helps position you as a local expert, like I was saying earlier. That really helps build trust and win business with new clients. And you really need a way to stay top of mind effectively with past clients. There are a lot of tools out there that you can add past clients to for, various generic drip emails that aren't so effective. What we do with MarketBoost, I think you're going to see is a lot more effective for getting their attention and staying top of mind, because you're really going to present information that's helpful to them when they get ready to move again. So the agent challenges the challenge agents have in executing all this is time. How do you pull together information that's personal for all of your leads from all this data and get it to them? So it's really a challenging time issue. And then lack of resources to deliver this personalized and relevant market information that helps move leads closer to closing. And it's difficult to establish credibility, particularly if you're a newer agent and you don't have a long track record of closed business. How do you set yourself apart on your website? When people come and explore, you can really give them a better sense of what you have to offer through market information. So we address all these things with MarketBoost. You're really going to save time because all this content is automated for you, so you can focus on closing clients later down the funnel. It automatically engages leads with the content that helps you to close them. You can see what content they're interacting with. You can better understand what their interests are through that analysis, and work with your leads to move them to closing. And it positions you as a local expert. So how it works is actually very, very simple. It's essentially you create a saved search to create what we call a market. You go into your account control panel and you select a location, you select other criteria, and save that search in your control panel. You can even draw on a map if necessary. So if you really want to get hyper-local for a specific neighborhood that's not well called out in your MLS through a field, for example, you can just draw and establish a location that way. Once you've done that, you have report pages automatically built in your account that you simply link to on your website, and you start engaging visitors and capture leads through those reports. And we're going to take a look at those reports in a minute. You can also embed those pages into existing pages that you have. And also, along with a market, you get 3 email campaigns that are instantly available for each market. You can start putting people into those campaigns right away. So we're going to dive into this in more detail. The 3 campaigns you get for each market include daily emails for active, sold, and price changes, weekly emails for open homes, and those are sent ahead of the weekend so people can plan their weekend, and monthly emails with market stats. So these are all appropriate for people at different stages of the funnel. I would say all of them are appropriate for active buyers and sellers, and the monthlies are particularly a good idea for past clients to keep them up to date on what's happening and where they bought. And we also have investors. And then broker plans in market with our accounts include the ability to send market report emails for every agent. So every agent basically gets a very powerful management system for engaging their leads. All right, let's take a look at the report pages. You get 3 report pages provided for each market. You can add these to your website to engage them, and you can link to them or embed them in your page, as I mentioned earlier. That's an option in WordPress. If you have a blog, you can embed the reports in your blog pages. And then the report pages, let's take a look at the details in here. You can select, let's say you created several markets in your account. You can navigate between those markets using what's highlighted there on the slide. And then you can also select the type of report, listings, open homes, or market report. Then you can subscribe to reports. So people coming to your site, if they're interested in receiving reports for a given type of report, can subscribe right there. And they can choose for sale or recently sold. And we're looking at the actual listings page. Justin, in a little bit, is going to show you some client examples, and you're going to see listings, open homes, and market report examples. And recently sold is also available in boards where we have service for sold listings. You can toggle between for sale and recently sold. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to Justin, and he's got some client examples to show you. If you just give us a moment here, we're going to switch presenters here.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apologize in advance because I've had like 9 cups of coffee today. So like, I'm one of those people that likes caffeine on like an IV drip. Like, it's not enough to just drink it out of a cup. I literally need the caffeine constantly going through me. Little intro. As Hank said, my name is Justin. I'm the sales team lead here at iHomefinder. So if you've talked to one of our reps, I will guarantee you that I've probably talked to them as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on my screen here. We're going to have 3 really quick client examples. Well, 2 clients and 1 demo site. Demo site, I'm going to explain once we get there. Now, the first site you have up here, this is a current client of ours. He's located in the Los Angeles area, and I figured what better way to start off than to show y'all Beverly Hills market report. Now, Beverly Hills, not just where we want to be, not just home of 90210, it's also home of the average sold cost of $4.2 million for any house sold last month. So that's one of the things that you're able to do with this, is you're able to go ahead and actually see not only what the average price of these homes are, what they're being listed at, or if they've been active for more than 30 days, why? What's the sale to list ratio? How long on average are they staying listed? And what's the overall inventory? And as you scroll down, you'll see that also happens over a 6-month period. And as you continue to scroll down, you'll also see if your board allows sold listing data, it's going to let you know of what recently sold properties exist in that area. So if you have a client who lives in this area, be an easy thing to just subscribe them. They live here. They already own a home. Now they're able to keep in touch with how that market is actually performing. So that way, if you have someone who's looking to maybe sell their home in a few months, this might be what you need to kind of go ahead and push them the extra bit of the way there. Now, we did say you can be as general or as refined as you want. Hank said that. And he's absolutely correct. You don't have to just choose a specific city. We also have on this other site I've grabbed for Rose, off of Rose's site. Rose is actually a specialist in Miami. And so she's got all the different areas up here under her communities that she's a specialist in. And I just went ahead, I grabbed downtown Miami from that list. And so downtown Miami, if you're looking to move there, on average, a home selling for about $385,000, being listed at about 500 grand. And you can see here, Rose is also utilizing our widget. So that's another great thing about these market reports is if you want to also showcase some featured listings via a widget, you could still do that right on their market report. So yes, they're able to sign up, receive a one-click market report. They're able to sign up for a listing alert. They're able to sign up for those weekly open house alerts. But they're also able to see what listings you and your team have as well because you're able to display them right there using that widget. And then the last one I grabbed is an example off of our demo site because one of the questions that we hear a lot as a sales team is, I only work with commercial listings or I only work with lots and lands. And if you're on the call right now and that's you, this is for you. You can create markets on property type, not just areas, but property types. So if you wanted to showcase a specific city and then the commercial listings, lots and lands, mobile homes, condos, houses, however you wanted to set it up, you could set it up so that the city has an overall market report and then each of the different property subtypes as well. So you can see here, we actually chose commercial listings for El Dorado Hills. And I can actually go through and I can see that there were 2 new listings last month. 4 active on the market still. We can see what their prices were. And again, this can be the benefit or the detraction of doing these hyper-focused markets because if there's not a lot of activity, so for example, those daily email campaigns, if you have a market set up for a city like Murphy's, which Hank and I know Murphy's because we're in the Bay Area, and if you're not from California and you've never heard of Murphy's, that's okay. It's a very tiny city. But if you had a market set up for Murphy's, it may only send out a report for listings instead of every day, just when there is a new listing. It's not going to update them with all the listings available every day, just what's new, what's changed. And so that's all right here on this, this easy to find area. You can go up under your communities and you can go down to that specific city and you've got all those different areas right there for you. The other thing that you can do that's really cool with these market reports is if you're a prospective buyer, you're not limited to only looking at the listing data of what's available in that market. You couldn't really see it from the picture that Hank was showing you, but once it pops up here, we're going to scroll down because I want you to see we can refine the search. So if you wanted to set a price range, which in Beverly Hills you really should. If you're looking to buy a home in Beverly Hills, please set a max price. Otherwise, I can't afford $165 million. But you can actually also refine the search down if you're a prospective buyer, which makes it even easier for you to then go up and just sign up easily for a listing alert. Another great benefit of these market reports is it's an easy way to keep in touch with your past clients, current homeowners you've already worked with. And Hank can tell you, any of my salespeople can tell you, we all know that National Association of Realtors statistic. 88% of people sell their home with a different agent than they bought it from just because they don't remember who they bought the house from, which is fine if you're buying a $30,000 car, not so fine if you're trying to sell a $165 million house. So putting somebody on this once a month market report, you're going to be able to keep in touch with them every month. Here's how the housing market you live in is performing. And then not only that, we're all people, we all talk. So what's going to happen when they go to their kid's baseball game or soccer game or hockey game, or they're going to a wine mixer with friends, and for some reason real estate comes up, which it does, people want to know what houses are costing. Oh my God, did you hear Bill just listed his house? Really? You could actually go onto this website and find it, see what it's listed at. And it's a great way to also then get that entire sphere of influence of clients, not just that you're selling, but all the people they're hanging out with on their weekends, all the people they're spending time with that you may have never met. All the emails that are sent out are hyperlinked right back to that page on the site. So if they go to see all the market stats from the email that's been sent, they'll go right to the market report. They'll be easily able to click and sign up to receive that market report themselves. And so with that, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to kick this back over to Hank.
Excellent. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it. And I want to apologize to everyone. I think there may have been some slides that were skipped as I was speaking earlier. You guys will all get copy of the presentation later. So apologize for that, but I think he's got most of them.
Most is the important thing. All right, that is being, we're switching that back over to Hank.
Excellent. And let's see here. Before we continue to our next segment, we're going to take a quick poll and ask you to complete this poll, which will pop up on your screen in a moment. And you should see it now. If not, you should see it in a moment. And we're basically interested in what your primary source of leads is for your business.
Yeah, because let's be real. I mean, we're all getting leads in one way or another. So is it a PPC type of paid ad campaign that you're running? Are you purchasing leads from someone like Zillow or Realtor.com, Realtor.ca? Heard y'all up in Canada have that now. Referral, is it referral from an existing client? Is it web traffic? Do you have good SEO on your website and you're able to generate your leads organically? And if it's something else, let us know. We're actually curious. We are, in fact, curious. I know it kills cats, but we're not cats. We're people.
Okay, yeah, it looks like we got most people submitted their poll results here. And the largest percentage, not surprising, is referrals. And next down is your website. So good for you guys. You're getting leads off your sites effectively. And paid ads follows that. So the top three are referrals, your website, and paid ads.
Which is about what we'd expect to see.
Yeah, very interesting. So thank you for your participation in that. That's going to sort of segue into our next bit of content here, which I'm going to pull up after our poll. And
nice segue.
Yes. So MarketBoost works really well with marketing automation, which is a feature in our plans. It's an option. And it provides automated follow-up in a very special way in that it can take leads from any of your third-party sources, bring them into your iHomefinder account, provide an immediate reply, and place those people into an email nurture campaign. Now, this isn't any just email campaign content. It's actually custom content you can build out. We have content that's built for you. You can just run with that, or you can edit it to your liking, include some hyperlocal content in there. But the really great thing about it is it includes what we call smart content, and those are listing recommendations. So when you have MarketBoost combined with marketing automation, it comes with our plans with marketing automation. You do get MarketBoost, by the way. You can use MarketBoost to drive these listing recommendations. So I'm going to walk through that in a little bit. Do you want to add something, Justin?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so for those of you who are running paid ads, you're going to want to pay real close attention to what Hank's about to talk about, because we're going to talk about how you could actually drive those paid ads to a landing page and put them on a marketing automation report.
Right. So here's an example. You're paying for leads from one of the third-party sources out there. We support over 30 of them now. Those leads that you pay for come right into your iHomefinder account. In speaking with prospects and current clients, we find that people who are purchasing leads this way are advertising, don't really have good ways of number one, following up immediately, which is critical for getting a high percentage of conversions. You have to follow up right away.
You're one of 6 with Zillow. You are one of 6 agents who got that lead.
You have to follow up right away, particularly millennials. They're not going to wait around. And then you have to be able to follow up with content, and it has to be a regular cadence of content. And is it market relevant? Is it interesting to them? It's not some boring content about it's time to do this, it's time to do that at your house. You know, it's market relevant information. So the way this works is very simple. Let's just go through an example of a paid ad. So you could purchase an ad for a zip code, for example. Create a MarketBoost market for that zip code. Add a follow-up campaign in marketing automation dedicated to that zip code. All you have to do is set up a rule in automation, in marketing automation, that places every new lead from that ad into that campaign you just created. That's it. Leads are nurtured with listing recommendations and market stats for that zip code. You've immediately provided a response to that new lead. They realize that you're engaging with them and you're providing relevant information. Guess who's going to probably win that lead's business?
Exactly. I got a real world scenario for all of you. So we had a client who signed up with us. They have marketing automation and MarketBoost, and they focus in wine country. We all know wine country. Well, we in California all know wine country is the Napa region, right? So what they did is they purchased their zip codes for that area. They built a market in their iHomefinder control panel, not displayed on their website, because you don't have to display every market you create on your website. They wanted to have this one created specifically for this campaign. And then anyone who went through that campaign who signed up for that PPC ad also got put into this marketing automation campaign. So within less than 5 to 10 minutes, they had an email with the link back to the website so they could go now and they could utilize the Eureka search or the MarketBoost or any of the number of features that we offer to help encourage prospective buyers to utilize your site as opposed to some other site. They're also able to keep that person on a specified drip campaign with content, hyperlinks, smart content that's going to recommend listings based on what their search profile is or based on the market, as Hank's saying. So you're able to make it a very personalized experience because for that person in wine country, they're now able to set somebody up for an entire, 6 to 8 week campaign with touches every couple of days. And all they have to do is pull up the app and you look them up and call them.
Exactly. Yeah, and marketing automation, as Justin mentioned, marketing automation can provide listing recommendations based on people's search activity. But if you have a long collection of leads that have not been on your site, you don't have that history to draw from, or marketing automation doesn't have it to draw from. Connecting it to a market is going to be the source of listing recommendations for those leads in your email campaigns. Let's take another look at another example here for open homes. So this is a common scenario, obviously. Open home, you collect a bunch of leads. What do you do with them? So in this example,
leave them on the table. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't. I'll get around to calling them next week. Or my assistant was supposed to call them.
Whoops! I handed that over to my teammate. Oh no.
So here's the way you can make sure that the rubber hits the road with your leads from an open home. Collect the email addresses for an open house. Create a MarketBoost for that area. Add follow-up campaign and marketing automation for this specific focus and that market. After the event, all you have to do is load that list of email addresses into the campaign. Everybody at that open house will start receiving listing recommendations and your specific nurture campaign you built out for that area, talking about all the great things about that area. You can easily edit these emails that we provide. You can build a custom flow, whatever you want to do. It's all up to you. That's the beauty of marketing automation combined with MarketBoost.
Yeah, if you're familiar with building out campaigns, I know in the past I've used personally companies like MailChimp. It's a very, very similar process. So instead of you having to relearn something all over again, if you have a digital marketing person on your team already, or if you know somebody who does digital marketing, have them come in, take a look, because you never know. You could bring them and go, hey, I need you to take a look at the campaign that I've been building here for this specific set of leads that I really want to get business to. And then that person can come in and go, yeah, absolutely. We can go ahead and create those campaigns, not a problem. Give me 2 hours.
Excellent. So with that, just wanted to cover some resources that are available. If you go ahead on it your own and you're diving in, you can go to our support center at iHomefinder.com. You can see in the arrows here, select resources, support center. In there, you'll find MarketBoost setup guide, which has step-by-step instructions, and there's also a knowledge base there. But if you take advantage of this offer, there's really not much you're going to have to do to get up and running. So we're going to cover your questions here and cover some final points. If you just give us a moment, I'm just going to put our phone on mute here. I got to open up all the questions you've sent in, and we'll be jumping into those in a moment. Okay, thank you for holding, everybody. What constitutes a market? So a market is a saved search. So it constitutes whatever you define. So imagine you were a consumer, came to your site and completed a search form, entered all different criteria. That's basically what we mean by a market. It is a saved search. So you can use location fields select from the locations that are available in your MLS, or if you want to define an area that's not available in a location field, you can custom draw a shape with a polygon and define a market that way, along with a price range and any other criteria such as property type, like Justin mentioned.
Fireplace.
Right.
Pools.
Whatever the features are. Right. If you're in a waterfront area, you could focus on, okay, I'm going to create a market. I'm going to create a MarketBoost market for waterfront between this price range and that price range.
You focus on selling equestrian homes. Guess what? Horse properties. You can set up markets for horse properties in the areas you serve. You want to set up a market is, as you know, let your imagination be your guide. That's what a market can be.
That's right. Okay, we're going to get back into your questions. I'll be right back here in a moment.
All right, and we also have some other questions here. So Jody asked, if I buy today, how quickly can I get started? Jody, that's actually a great question. Thank you so much for asking. There's a couple factors there. Number one, if you buy today, we can get your implementation kickoff call to get the build start on your website. We can get that scheduled for tomorrow or the next day. The really kind of linchpin here is going to be IDX approval process with your MLS board, which they all have them. They're all different. If you need specifics on how long your MLS board can take, anywhere from a couple days to a few weeks, call us. We can explain and give you all the details around getting the approval. Let's see. Looks like George says, you mean if I get these markets set up on my account, I can get these emails out today? Yeah, absolutely. If you create those markets today, we can go ahead and start adding subscribers so you can start getting them on the evening drip email that's going out tonight. Yes, George, to all of your leads. He wants to make sure it's all his leads. All of the leads you have that you want them assigned, you select a market and put them in there. Let's see, Ashley wants to know if there is a discount if we pay annually. Great question. So two-part answer there. Number one, our broker plans do not have annual pricing. That is for your protection, because the broker pricing is really based on the amount of agents you have in the system. So if you go up a tier or down a tier, we don't want to lock you in. If you go down a tier, we don't want you paying more for the year. But if you're an individual agent trying to sign up for an agent plan, you save 10% by signing up for an annual account. Let's see. Steve wants to know, do I have to have paid ads in open homes to use marketing automation? No, not at all. If you're purchasing leads from Zillow, you can use marketing automation. You can use marketing automation can really, it doesn't have to be a paid ad. It could be even referrals. You can build out these campaigns for past closes that you can then, as I said, through the control panel, add them to the correct campaign that you want them assigned to.
Right, and to dovetail on that, we have campaigns that are built out already for you with content that are focused on buyers and sellers. So there are buyer and seller email campaigns in there. They're also designed to be used with just your website. So a new lead fills out one of the lead capture options on your website and become a new lead. Marketing automation will jump in right away and start the automated response process, providing them with listing recommendations and making them really feel that they have reached a person who's there to help them, and you haven't just entered a form into a black box.
Even though they may have just entered a form into a black box. So Nick also would like to know, let's see, is there a limit to how many campaigns I can create with marketing automation? And also the same question, is there a limit to how many markets I can create? The most markets I've ever seen on an account was like 2,500. That's the most amount of markets I've ever seen a person create.
Basically, there's no limit.
Yeah, that was really that was me just kind of beating around the bush. There is not a limit. Your imagination is the limit to how many markets you can create.
We do have guidelines and recommendations for best practices for how to define a market so that it's most effective for you. If a market is too large, that could be a problem. It won't, be as effective. If it's too small, that can be okay for certain types of leads if it's hyper focused. But you just have to pick and choose. And we have a video. We actually have a whole channel on our YouTube channel. We have a whole playlist of different videos on MarketBoost, and one of them talks about best practices for setting up a market so that it is most effective for you.
In that support center that Hank mentioned earlier, we also have a quick start guide for MarketBoost as well.
That's right, and you'll find the best practices and tips in there for defining markets in there. I think I got another question here. A question about Follow-Up Boss integration. We have some degree of integration with it, yes, and Annette was curious if we're going to have a deeper integration that passes more information than name, email, and phone. I can't answer that if that's in the roadmap or not, but I'm certainly going to pass that along to our product team.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are using Follow-Up Boss, I would still recommend marketing automation, and there is a reason for that. Follow-Up Boss, 1000% is an amazing marketing kind of CRM. What they don't have is the smart content you'll be able to utilize with our marketing automation. So yes, you're still able to get all of those new leads into Follow-Up Boss, but this is still a way that you're able to drip them recommended listings based on the lead profile that they were sent to your website.
Yeah, and I think you could really leverage the best of both systems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Follow-Up Boss has a lot of great tools, like Justin mentioned. There's no reason why you can't, keep taking advantage of what they have to offer while using the marketing automation to send them the listing recommendations that only our system is going to be able to do based on their behavior on your site and based on the markets you create in MarketBoost.
Yeah, and those market stats as well. So that's another one of those smart content things. So you're able to provide them with market stats and recommended listings. So there's actually a reason you would want to have both of them running at the same time.
Yeah. Let's see. A question about downtown Seattle condos. Someone specializes in this. Is from Jeff. I'd like to explore setting up auto search via address. For example, a condo. This is a great question. It comes up all the time. A condo project with a given name and a specific address. It'd be great to have anything in that building available.
Yeah, no. So you could actually, one of our example sites on our website is a client by the name, or a site by the name of Nashville Roots, where all they did is they went in and they broke down Nashville by neighborhood, right? You can essentially do the same with it since you're focusing in condos in Seattle, which, by the way, go Seahawks, go Russell Wilson, gets my vote for MVP. Not that anyone watches football as religiously as I do. But you would be able to set up the different areas, or specifically the different condo complexes. I think might be what you're referencing is, can I notate them by complex? Yes, you can. That's where that polygon search is actually going to come in real handy too, because if it's a couple buildings, like I know in Florida, I have a client who's in Miami also, funny enough, but he'll draw them around the complexes themselves so that he gets, the main condos, high rise, and then if there's another one here and here around the area, they're able to go in and encircle that whole area with the polygon search tool. So it captures all the leads in that area, or all the listings in that area, which includes all the condos.
That's right.
Which is a really long way of me saying, yeah, we can do that.
Yep. Great. I think that wraps up all the questions we received. That's a great collection of questions, everybody. If we missed anything, please do send us an email at info or sales at iHomefinder.com. We'll be happy to get back to you.
And don't forget, join us next month when we have, drumroll, we are launching a brand new CRM product next month. And keep your eye out for the webinar invite. And hopefully management keeps me on board after this webinar and I'm able to join Hank for that one too.
I'd love to have Justin back. I had a great time with all of you, and we hope to hear from you soon with any questions, and we look forward to seeing you at the next webinar.
Yeah, give us a call. Don't make us beg. We will, but don't make us. Thank you. We look forward to speaking with you.